Hello there, my stamping friends. It is Tammy with Stamp and Scrap Tammy with our Wednesday Facebook Live this February 24th if you're watching live, or perhaps you're watching the replay at another time. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm going to get started here. And so, gosh, as we get started here, I feel like I have got to say hello and introduce myself because this last week, I don't know what happened, but there was just like an explosion of new people on the page. So that is so exciting. So I'm a little bit nervous today with some when I know there's probably going to be some new people watching. But anyway, so my name is Tammy Nelson. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 5 years. I just celebrated my 5-year anniversary in January, so super exciting. And I absolutely love what I do. So paper crafting is my passion. And I am just absolutely passionate about Stampin' Up! Products. So if you've been watching my videos, you know this. If you're new, you will find that out if you continue to follow along with us. I do a Wednesday Facebook Live at 11 a.m. Central every single week. And then I pop in here and there with other ones and share some crafting inspiration. I also share with you 2 times a week in email format. And then if there's any special things going on, I do that too. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are just for a tutorial Tuesday. I send you out a free tutorial. And then Thursdays, I usually elaborate a little bit more on things that are going on in the Stampin' Scrap Tammy community. So that is a little bit about me. Let me see, 5 years. I live in Minnesota, so you'll hear me talk about the weather here and there. So depending on wherever you are watching, you are always welcome. But I am in North Mankato, Minnesota. And what else should you know about me? Right now, I'm at my house. This is my stamp studio. I have got a husband, Chris, who is a nurse, and so he works overnight. So you see me doing things at really weird times because our family just has a weird schedule because of his 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. schedule. We just are all over the place with our schedules. And then I have 2 children, Allison, she's 14, and Brody, he is 10, almost 11. So they keep us super busy. So that's just a little bit about me. Maybe if you've been watching along for a while, you didn't know that. So I just thought today would be a great time to share that, and especially because we had some new people here. All right, so I'm just kind of going back and forth here looking where we are before I really get started. And I'm hoping my volume doesn't kick on here. It might. I always forget to turn oh, there it is. Oh, good morning. So we have Janine and Cindy watching. All right, videos do always have a Prize Patrol link to them. So like, share, comment. Tell me what you think. Give me a little thumbs up here and there, and you will be entered. All right, so if you caught last week's video, I did some simple stamping. Today's going to be no different. We are going to stick with some simple stamping and make a ton of cards today. I'm so excited about it because, I don't know, I knew what I was going to do before today, but when I came down today, I couldn't wait to get started to share with you. I just was thinking of all these things I wanted to tell you all, as if like, I wish you would all be in the room so we could just chat and visit all day long. All right, I'm getting the camera set up here. I've been moving my tripod around like all over the place. We had a Zoom this week. I had a Zoom Zoom stamping is what we called it on Sunday. We also played a little bingo with that. That was super fun. So there's gonna be registration for that coming up again. We're gonna do it again in March. But I'll share with you the cards. So the cards, let me share with you those first. Because these are the free with a purchase cards right now before I get started here. Let me see, is that my screen or is that, it looks good. Okay, oh, I keep kicking on my volume. Oh, so good morning, Susan. Mary Jo, you're catching it live. How exciting. All right, Mary Jo, you have some of these cards coming, I believe. So these are the free with a purchase cards right now. These are also the ones we use for Zoom stamping. So we stamped these live on Sunday together for those that wanted to join us live. There's 2 of each. And the inspiration for the cards we're going to make today is from these 2 cards right here. This is the same paper. One is the background or the back side of it. And so I'm going to keep it simple today, and we're going to be doing this layout. It's so easy and fun, and I'm using a variety of, or not a variety, it's 2 a variety, it could be, of different papers to share with you, and a couple of different stamp sets. One from the annual catalog I haven't brought out in a long, long time. All right, so anyways, if you have any purchases, any last minute celebration things you'd like to get your hands on before they are gone, that free with an order items at the $50 level, These are going to be the cards I'm going to send you just as a free gift for ordering. So just so you know that. There's also an option, maybe perhaps you don't have an order you want to place, but you like to have these card kits ready to go. There's an option for that too. So check back a couple minutes after the video is done, and I will post the option for that. If you want to do it right now, even, I shared this class last night in a post too. So anyways, so there's an option to just order them like this without placing an order, or if you want to place an order and get them for free, I'll just send them to you. Those will be ready next Friday to either mail or ship out, or mail or ship out. That's the same thing. Or pick up if you're local to me here. All right, so anyways, that's what that's all about. Let's get started with some stamping. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use today, and then we'll get going. All right, so I'm bringing back in the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. This is one from Celebration that is the free with an order. And then I'm also going to use for the cards that I'm doing today, the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. And I just really want to show you how you can use the same layout, just like last week, with a different set of paper and be equally as beautiful. And what else do I have to share that I'm going to use? In just one of the cards, my good old favorite label, I'm just going to use that label from the Simply Succulents. And then let me show you the stamp sets that I'm going to use. And today I did have to go to these to check. This is the pattern paper that I'm using in the cards today. And I couldn't quite tell if that was Coastal Cabana. I wasn't quite sure. So I just pulled out my my little template here. I could have looked in the catalog as well, it tells us, and knew that it was Pool Party that I wanted to coordinate that with, and it looks wonderful. So that is a great handy tool, is either just, looking in the catalog where it tells you, and you know what? It actually tells you on the back of the Designer Series paper too. I forgot about that, and that was shared with me at class the other day. So I was happy to know that. All right, okay, let's go here and show you the stamp sets. This was my stamp set of the month, I called it. I used it nearly every time I made a card this month, or like a card class. I put this in there. The Happy Thought stamp set. What I love about that is that it's a very all occasions one. And then also from Celebration, I used this one today because I'm going to make some thinking of you type cards. And so I like that saying, the wishing I could heal your heart. And I also brought the stitch circles, so that fits in a circle quite lovely. And then I happened to find, so some of you probably saw last week I was cleaning out, and I don't know why I had these, but I'm not going to use these, but I came across this, like just in a bag. I don't know why I would have had a bag of thinking of use, but I did. And I love this script. So it kind of reminded me like, hey, you should bring that stamp set out. And it looks great. And I happen to have it stamped in the Pretty Peacock, I think it's called. And that is the color that coordinates with the Designer Series paper that I'm using today. So that comes from the Woven Heirlooms stamp set from the annual catalog. So that's what I'm also going to use today. I thought that script just looked great with the Fine Art Floral paper. And so let's get going here. All right, let me see what I have for supplies. I didn't get my stuff out, but that's okay. I mean, I was just making them, so it's all here. It's just not all nicely organized. All right, so again, I have the Pool Party. We have that cut at, why don't I just show you? Well, I don't have to show you how to cut. We can figure that out, right? But let's go back. Let's kind of go to the beginning here. If I have of course, my scoring tool is not going to be here. I don't have one handy. I bet I do, though. I bet I do in a drawer right over here. Let me just move my little side table out of the way here. My goodness, maybe I don't have one. Or you know where I do have one? I'm looking for my stylus. So our Simply scoring board, how handy it is. It comes with a scoring tool, but do you think I have that handy? Of course not. But my Take a Pick tool is here, and I just took out the other end, so I have one here. Oh my. All right, so I talk a lot about this. If you like to pre-score your cards, I don't typically do that. I usually just fold them up and I'm good to go. But, so I usually just go in half and we're good. That's fine for me. However, I've noticed that that's not normal. Like most people like to pre-score, which is great. So we're going to take our Pool Party. I have already cut it at 5.5, so I have 2 pieces. cut, ready to go from one sheet of our regular cardstock. Cut at 5.5, okay? And then if you'd like to pre-score it so you get a nice, beautiful crease, you are gonna go at 4.25. And you can see how fast this is to do. So it doesn't take a lot of time. So if you are just getting to know me and my personality, I'm usually very quick, simple. So last week's and this week's cards are a perfect example of my style of stamping. Now, I do occasionally get a little wild and crazy and get some embossing and some shakers and things like that, fun folds. But this is definitely my go-to, which is, you know, fun, fast, simple, successful stamping. But, you know, then sometimes I skip these little steps here that I should really show you how to do. So if you're new to stamping, you know that this is a thing. And then, okay, I think I probably have enough here. I don't even know how many I cut. I was just going a little wild today once I started cutting this because one sheet of designer series paper for my card today makes 9 cards. I don't know if I'm going to get to 9, but that's how many I can get or on the video. I'm going to make them up when I'm done here today. All right, so I'm going to set my scoring board back in my drawer behind me here. Trying to keep things nice and neat and organized, but you know, we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, so what I really want to show you here is, I'm going to see if on the video it shows. So my score line here, right? I've got a nice score line. And I also have a score line here. This is a little bit of a deeper indent. And so that's what we want to cut it to. So we, this was told by my upline Kay, she told me this. This is like the mountain. You want to fold towards the valley. Okay, fold on the mountain towards the valley. And then we will use our bone fold. And it actually works really nice. I should really take the time to do this all of the time. All right, and then we'll just get these going. So again, I have Pool Party here. I'm gonna coordinate it with Pretty Peacock. I better look at that. I hope I'm saying that right. My goodness, if I wasn't saying that right. It is one of the in colors. Yes, it is Pretty Peacock, and it is so pretty. It's one of my favorite colors. I am going to be sad to see it go. So Stampin' Up! Has in colors. They get, typically, I mean, don't quote me, it might change this year, but I don't think so. We get 5 new colors every year, and then they stick around for 2 years. So Pretty Peacock has been in our life for 2 years. And, you know, I'm going to be very sad to see it go, but that means we'll get a few more, which we have a few months yet before we have to worry about that. All right, so let's get going here. I think I probably have enough here. 1, 2, 3. I think so. That's enough to get started. I'm also going to go ahead, as long as I'm doing that part, not to bore you with my folding, but I'm going to do a couple of these as well. And this is Rococo Rose, which also happens to be an in color that I really just fell in love with. So of course this color's been around for 2 years too. I think I'd opened a pack just to kind of see what it was all about at the beginning when we got it. But man, I just really got into using it with that sweet Forever and Always, or Always and Forever sweet, something like that. That's in the beginning of our occasions catalog, kind of that love theme stuff. And so, and Allison actually was looking through, my daughter, looking through my colors, and she said this was her favorite color. So, kind of interesting. All right, I'll just do one more of these, and then I will get to the designing and telling you the measurements that we're going to use today for our super simple, successful stamping cards. Wow, I don't know if I could say that a second time. All right, and so I'm gonna, oh boy, I need that. Something just fell that is important. Okay, I'm gonna pull my table back close to me. All right, so here is where you get to see that beautiful Pretty Peacock color. And I have that cut. I should have written this down for you. I can write it down right now, so then you have it if you would like to remember them to make again. Very easy. You could probably remember this in your head, but I'll write it down anyways. So your cardstock, of course, our base. Oh, I don't want that side. Let's go with this side. I love writing with these markers. So our base is 5.5 by 8.5, and then score. Now, if you've been stamping forever, this is probably pretty pretty basic for you, but you know, we have some new people here, so I know that this is handy. So 4 1/4, that's your standard score for when you cut a base this size. And then this is going to be a little different for my next layer. My next layer here today is going to be 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. Just a little bit different. And then, so I'm going to put CS, that's cardstock. And then my next layer is going to be 5, just 1/4 of an inch down from both of these here, by 3. Nice thing when you cut this size like this is, like I said, you get 9 pieces out of your designer series. And so designer series, I'm going to go DSP. That's what designer series paper. So if you don't know the lingo, that's what the lingo is. So I'll leave this up here just for a little bit for you to see. All right, look at how pretty this pattern of paper is. And then backside is just as beautiful. This is like my favorite color combination. This and, so this pretty peacock, the pool party, and coastal cabana. That's kind of the colors I absolutely love. Speaking of my favorite color, coastal cabana, my friends, I'm so excited for to show you tomorrow. So I'm going to be live tomorrow, and I'm probably not going to have my shoes on my feet. Okay, so guess why? Because my new shoes are coming today. My new Converse, my Stamp and Scrap, they say Stamp and Scrap on them, Converse, are coming today. Well, okay, they're supposed to come today. The shipping, the tracking says they are coming today. So I'm going to have to, before I actually wear my shoes, I'm going to have to like put them up here to show you all. It'll be like show and tell tomorrow. I don't know what time tomorrow that's going to be, but you're going to love them. Well, I mean, I don't know. You might not love them, but I'm going to be really excited about them. So stay tuned. Hopefully tomorrow I will have those. So you'll see here I did all kinds of these. And then we'll see how they all come together. All right. Sorry about the pause there. Someone was trying to call me and it actually was not a telemarketer. Can you believe that? It's a call I've been waiting for, but I figure you guys don't want to listen to my phone call this morning. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go now move to getting these ones ready using the other designer series paper, the Blossoms and Blooms. So, or Paper Blooms, I'm sorry. So we have Paper Blooms and then we have the Fine Art Floral over on this side. And I am using my Stamp and Seal Plus. I am matting these on Night of Navy. Same exact measurements, nothing different there. And I'm just going to be thrilled that I have so many cards ready to go and send. The Field and Flowers, or Paper Blooms, I'm sorry. The Field and Flowers is a paper too. It's also a celebration paper. These are only available until the end of the week. So the last day of the month happens to be on Sunday. And that is when these are going to be, I guess, gone. You won't be able to get them after Sunday. And so if this is something on your wish list, make sure you take a look at that before the 28th. I would not want you to miss out. And something cool about this paper, and I'm going to have to like share a little secret with you here, but this isn't the secret. I'll share that with you in a little bit. Is this paper coordinates with In Bloom stamp set in the bundle. And so these die cuts cut out some of the things out of this paper. So that's pretty neat. And so I didn't get this. I know I was a little bit late to the party on this one, and I'm not sure really what happened there, but I might have to get it now. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so I do already have my stamps already on my blocks here. I'm going to bring out the shapes that I want to cut. They're already cut. So something I did here, I used everything but the squares as far as the stitch shapes. I have all of these shapes already. So I don't even know how many I have. I just had some scraps out. So I'm just going to stamp some of them, throw them together, and then I'm going to put the cards together all just a little bit different. All right, so I have the stitched circles. Something I like about this stitched. So this is, or let's go back to this. They all have stitching. This came from the succulents. I'll set those aside. And then I have the stitched circles, the stitched ovals. There is also stitched squares. And those are also very nice. And so if you're not sure what shape you are, this is for those of you that are just starting out. If you're not sure if you like circles, squares, or ovals. Like if you just want to get one, as far as like these, because like all these, you know, I don't know what you call that. Well, whatever that's called. Someone knows, right? Whatever those things are called. So the circles come in a pack, the ovals come in a pack, and the squares come in the pack. And there's these little, gosh, I am drawing a total blank on, you know, this little edge here. So they come with that, and then the straight edge around circle and the straight edge around square, oval, etc. But then if you order the stitched ones, you get each. So you get ovals, circles, and squares. Gosh, I'm drawing blanks here. All right, so on my circle, I'm trying to think if I'm doing the right color. I am. Okay. So in the Night in Navy, I'm going to use the stamp from Heal Your Heart, and also a Celebration item. I feel like, you know, with only a few days left of Celebration, that I did not give it enough attention. I hardly used any of the stuff to show you all. I mean, I used it, but just not in my Facebook Lives. So I'm using a variety of it today, and then I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. My focus tomorrow will be on Celebration, because like I said, I don't think I gave enough focus to it. Tomorrow and Friday, I will share with you some samples I have. I'll make up a couple cards, nothing real formal. Not that these are ever real formal, but that's what I'm going to do tomorrow and Friday. Friday is probably just going to be a quick share and show, because I'm going to be in kind of a rush on Friday. So this I want to do in Pretty Peacock. Friday we have to go, I don't know, about an hour away or so to a hockey tournament. And then I have to go an hour, well, a half hour from my house, so an hour and a half from where we're going, the other direction to work in the evening. And so it's going to be quite the weekend. And then back on Saturday for more hockey, and then back to New Ulm for more work, and then back to Faribault again on Sunday for more hockey. So it's going to be like miles on the car this weekend. So I've got my Pretty Peacock ink here. So again, kind of all over the place here, but it's going to come together so nice in the end. And then if I don't use all these, I'm going to have them left over to make some more cards with the rest of the Designer Series paper that I have out. All right, that's going to be enough of those. I'm not going to use too many of them, probably just one of them. And then this beautiful script from the Woven Heirlooms stamp set is what I'm going to do next. Here, I'm just going to leave these sit here because they just make me happy, because they're just so pretty. Isn't that just like a beautiful little scene over here going on? But don't be distracted. Maybe you're going to be distracted if they're sitting there with all that beauty to what I'm stamping here. Let's talk about this. Again, we have some new people here, so they need to know this tip too. So I'm going to share with you how you want to do. So if you notice when I'm stamping, I've stamped all kinds of cards. I don't get much ink around here. I get asked that question a lot of how I do that. I'm not going to share, you know, my total tip. You got to get to know me a little bit more before I'm going to tell you the next tip, or before I tell you the rest of the story. But so, you know, just keep watching. It'll come someday. What you want to do is you want to go a nice tap, tap, tap. You don't want to go like into your ink pad quite a bit. You just want to go tap, tap, tap. And if you're watching and you know the tip that I'm talking about, feel free to type it in the comments. But I feel that until I get to know people, I probably shouldn't talk like that until you know me a little bit better. So just a nice gentle tap, and there you go. And so I'm going to just now go straight up, straight down. I'm going to let this soak into my paper a little bit, get it nice and inked up in there, but without pushing too terribly hard. And then it's stuck. That's okay. Tap it down. That was a little vigorous, but so tap it down lightly. You don't have to be so rough like that. I was over exaggerating, I guess. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I have Pretty Peacock ink, if you missed that at the beginning, on my stitched oval. And that script is so pretty. It just makes my heart flutter. And speaking of fluttering, we have some new butterflies coming. I gave a little sneak peek last week. So next week too, I got all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm going to come to you quick live tomorrow, Friday, talk about Celebration. But it's been a couple months now since we have done a virtual party. So this afternoon, my plan is I'm going to amp back up that very virtual party group. and I'll share the links to that for you to join it. And we are going to have ourselves a very virtual party next Thursday and Friday. I do not have times yet. I don't even know if I'll have times until next week. Our kids' activities have been just going all over the place, so I might have to wait to share the times until next week, but it's going to take place next Thursday, Friday. We always have door prizes for that. We do like a virtual swap where you can share a card you've been making, and we do a virtual card, or not a virtual, an actual card send, where if you'd like to send a card to someone, you can sign up to do that. So lots of fun stuff happens when we do very virtual parties. And I'm going to be sharing most likely some of that butterfly stuff because I was making cards with it last weekend, and it is beautiful that I need to share it with you all. All right, so now I have all kinds of stamped images there. I have got my cards all ready. Now it's just a matter of putting them together, all just a little bit differently. So let's start real basic. We're going to take this piece here. If you missed the measurements, if you're just popping in, here are my measurements for what I've got going on here. I'm going to go right in the center for the first one. And all I'm going to do now is add, oh, I didn't tape all these together, or adhere. Adhere would be the fancier term. Let's go ahead and do that. See how lovely those nest together? And then all I'm going to do for this is put some dimensionals on it. I want some larger ones today. Look at that, a nice fresh sheet of dimensionals. Which means I probably have a whole bunch of partial sheets in there that I should be using, but I'm not going to. It's a beautiful day today for a new sheet of dimensionals. All right, and so let's just keep that nice and simple to start. Done. Now let's go up just a little bit here, and let's bring in the ribbon that goes with the Fine Art Floral. Look at how pretty this is. It's got a little bit of gold specking in it. Let's see, I don't even know what it's called. Fine Art ribbon, that's it. Easy enough to remember. And let's go ahead here. Let's just say you don't like to tie bows. I don't mind tying bows, but let's just say you don't. And I'm just gonna snip it there with my ribbon scissors. I must have had my paper scissors. I have a ribbon scissors that has beading, but I don't know. I think it's sitting across the room. Because last night actually we had, okay, the only adhesive, I'll finish that thought in a second, I use that is not Stampin' Up. It's just some little Scotch tape when I do this little doodad here. All right, so my scissors is across the room. Last night we had a Zoom meeting with our Cafe Crafter group. That's our, my little Stampin' group. We did a little Zoom visit, and I was putting a kit together, so my scissors is over there. Because I was sitting, I'm standing now, but at my counter, that's where I do most of my stuff. But since that was a little bit more relaxed, I decided to sit down at my table over there. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna snip that off. And let's go ahead and adhere this part. Now when I have this little thicker part here, it does work quite nice to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because it is a little bit more sticky. The reason I used it on that card is because this was closest thing to me. The regular seal would have been fine. Okay, since I got this little ribbon thing going on here, I'm going to use the smaller thing here. You see how this one is like off the edge? I'm not going to put this one off the edge. I'm going to put this one right on the card, or on the, like the designer series, the DSP, as I talked about before. Okay, here we go. Look at that. That's pretty. We're going to have something at the end too. We're going to have to decide what else these cards need. So if you were thinking right now what you think they need, you let me know. Now let's go ahead. So these are right in the middle. Let's try one over to the side. And that's how I'm going to finish, I think, the rest. It was one of my favorites that I did. I just made 2 samples beforehand just to see how it would come together. Now I knew it was going to look great because anytime you have a layout and you just have to change the paper, you can't go wrong. And let's go ahead with some dimensionals again. And this is definitely a simple, successful stamping layout for you. I just glanced at the comments. I believe the answer was told about how you should be using your ink pad. You'll hear it from me at some point. But again, like I said, you know, after all the new people joined last week, I thought maybe I better keep it pretty mellow today and not say that myself. All right, so that conversation came up at our bingo event the other day, or, well, okay, it wasn't a bingo event. It was Zoom Zoom stamping, and we did play a game of bingo at the end just for fun. So if you want to take advantage of that, once you see that pop up in the events again, we do always play a little game. It wasn't like huge prizes or anything. It was just for fun, but it was a good time. It was a great afternoon of stamping. And what a great way to stamp with people. And in fact, here in Minnesota, you know, we can start to gather in very small groups, and we are, but it was snowing. It was kind of crummy out on Sunday. So it was nice to have an afternoon just stamping away with my friends. It was just so great. And anybody, so if you say, well, gosh, I'm not your friend. I don't even know you, Tammy. Guess what? If you stamp, you are a friend of mine. Everybody that stamps is welcome in my group. My Cafe Crafter group of demonstrators, my Stampin' Scrap community of customers. If you like to just watch, you are welcome to do that. Everybody is welcome here. All right, beginners, intermediate stampers, all of you are welcome. Now, if you're an intermediate stamper, you might find some tips and tricks from me, but you know, you're not going to find like crazy projects too often. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one like that. I got to make sure I have enough cards made for a nice little grid of cards at the end, because you never know. I don't want to lose any. Last week I lost one on top of the other one, and then it just appeared at the end. Okay, so I got to finish this off because I got to get to the other set of cards. But you see just how fast these come together. I just love making them. And these are just as pretty as last week's layout. And this paper is just second to none. This paper is also, I'm going to use this paper this next month. I'm going to use this suite for all occasions class, the fine art floral stuff. And so this one, when I use the oval, I'm kind of overhanging it just a little bit. It looks like I have one more here ready to go. So I'm going to do, and I have enough for one more sentiment. Oh, see, that is one thing you do have to be careful with your Stampin' Seal. Now I got to rewind it a little bit. That's all right. I'll grab the other one. Sometimes I'm a little bit too rough, so I need to just, and then this one is gone. I emptied one. Oh goodness, I might have to go to my liquid glue because the other stuff is way across the room. I don't want to go all the way over there. See what I have in here. I have stuff. I've got adhesive. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is our basic white that I'm using on my stitched. I don't think I said that. You'll probably figure that out though. And so I got basic white, pretty peacock, and pool party for my colors on this card. And they look great. Somebody asked me the other day about coordinating colors, that they don't know how to coordinate the colors. And guess what? I don't have a clue how to coordinate colors, not one single clue. And so I let Stampin' Up! Do the work for me. It's very rare that you see me veer from the colors that they say coordinate with a designer series paper. I let them do all the work for me, and I just show up to make them. And so, yeah, I don't really know either. I just look at what they say goes with the designer series, and that's what I go with. All right, and so I'm going to set these extra supplies aside, and I will do some, oh, these aren't extra though, and I will do something with those later. And I'm going to make just a couple of these cards here. So bring it back in our Rococo Rose, same measurements here. Let's just do nice and simple to get started. And I'll just put a little liquid glue on there. You know what I should have is my little glass here to keep it in. Always nice to bring that in. Brings back memories of the honeymoon at Margaritaville. A nice shot glass. So if you need something to hold your liquid glue, that is a good option. If you have any of those laying around. Nice thing is you can just leave your cover in there and then just pop it in. Okay, another nice little thing about using circles. So if you didn't know this, you don't have to worry about getting anything straight when you use a circle, because you can just circle it around. You know, somebody told me that a couple years ago, and it was like an aha moment. And I'd never thought about that. So this first one, I'm just gonna put it right on the card. Like so. And then let's go ahead and do a second one But let's bring in my other favorite ribbon, the Polka Dot Tulle ribbon. So if you're wanting this paper and you're needing some ideas of things that you would add, you could definitely go with the coordinating, you know, because $50 order gets you this paper for free. But maybe you don't know what you would buy to get it for free. The Polka Dot Tulle ribbon is a great choice. It matches this quite lovely. You could get some of the coordinating cardstock. You could get some adhesive and then rhinestones. Some, let's see, what else? Not for this one, but for that other one, you could get that Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. That would be a good option. Any of the stamp sets here, and then you could get this for free. Okay, so let's trim those off. I'm trying to see here, and I think I need one more. No, I don't. We're going to be good because I'm not going to have enough time. I'm going to run out of time today. It's getting a little bit late. So I'm going to end with this one. I'm going to put this one a little bit to the left. So this is going to be my stepped up card for the day. And then we're going to embellish. We are going to embellish. Don't forget, we're going to embellish. So I know I saw a couple comments that it needed some bling. You are absolutely right. These do need some bling. We're going to let it tell us what it needs. We're going to say, cards, what do you need for bling? What are you thinking today? And now I've been looking at them for the last, you know, hour and a half or so. So I kind of know what they need. I have a pretty good idea of what they need, where they need it, and how things are going to turn out for us here in the end. Okay, so we have that going. I'm going to set these aside. I'm only going to do 2 of this one. I have 2 already done because I still want to show you one more little thing about that In Bloom bundle that I don't have that I need to get. And something you can do to take care of that situation. And here we go. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to add a little bit to this card. And it looks beautiful how it is, but I do want to add a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lovely Designer Series paper. Now, if you were smart, you would have ordered the die cuts because, you know, you should have done that already, especially if you're a demonstrator. I mean, what am I thinking? But obviously I was not, but I'm going to make do, and I'm going to do some fussy cutting. I'm going to cut out, let's see, I have one ready. Let's see what other patterns. I think I'm going to want this green one here. So look at how many flowers are in this paper. This paper looks great just how it is. This is one of those papers I think I could put in a frame and not add anything else to it. And it would just make me so happy to look at it all day. And I'm just going to quickly, the only trick on this I noticed on the one that I kind of practiced on is I want to make sure I don't have the blue lines, because when I go put it on my white card, if I didn't get it trimmed enough, it kind of popped out there. So I just want to trim like inside of the lines. You don't have to be perfect either. And so, you know, either you love it or you hate it, fussy cutting. It seems anyways. I don't mind. I'm kind of, I should say I'm in the middle. I don't mind it at all. But if there was a die like there is for this, I would do it. So what I was going to tell you is what I'm doing here is I'm kind of doing the like fake it till you make it. Fake it till you have it. Fake it till you buy it, you know? And so this works. Again, it works, but it's not ideal. So ideally, I would have the die cuts. And then I would have been done by now. So now I'm just going to trim around and get one more flower out of here. I'm not really paying attention right now to the comments. So if you guys have anything to say, please let me know what you're thinking, how you're liking these cards. And then I will go back and look right before we end the video here. Or I'll go back later and take a look too. So I love to hear what you guys think about them. I mean, kind of. I guess maybe I don't want to hear if you don't like them. Well, that'd be all right too. I mean, sometimes it's good to hear if you don't like something too. Then I know I shouldn't make them again. Although I don't usually go back and make things too many times after. I might make this layout with some other Designer Series paper at some point, because this was a good one. All right, nice and simple. And you get so many cards out of one piece of Designer Series paper. Well, you know what else is coming up here in the Stampin' Scrap community? I'm going to be working on a one-sheet wonder again. I love those. So I'm going to have one of those coming out pretty soon. All right, and let's go ahead and adhere those. So this is my stepped up card. So, you know, not too terribly hard even, but this is my fancy card today. is adding some flowers. Yeah, let's put that off a little bit. And then I'm going to put, let's put this one underneath there. I'm not going to take too much time to overthink where I'm putting it. So put some flowers. I've got my favorite tulle ribbon. And I'm going to pop up this last flower with some dimensionals. It's going to overhang. I'm going to put my dimensional a little bit to the left there. And then I'll put just a little dab of ink here. Let's go ahead and put that in there so that it can kind of set and rest on top of my circle, but it'll still be nice and even. You know what? I can't. I got to do, wait a minute. We got to go down here a little bit. So one more little thing I want to add. So rather than a gem on this one, what I did on my other sample, I added some of this shimmery crystal effects. And it's almost gone, so it's kind of hard to get out. I'm going to just see if I can get it out. I hope I can. If not, I'll just go to Wink of Stella, but it's like almost gone. I have to get some more of it. I used it all. So what this does, maybe I'm not going to get it to work today. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed a full one. I don't have a full one here. Oh well, I'll just show you what it looks like. But for this one, I will just put some Wink of Stella on. That looks good too. And I have a full one somewhere. I used it for the Dragonfly class last week. But actually, you know what? I bet that one's borrowed out right now. I borrowed out that kit to somebody that wasn't able to attend. So here, we'll just do Wink of Stella. But I will bring in and show you the other one. So this is the Shimmer Crystal Effects. You can kind of see how that gives it a little bit of gloss. It makes it look like an enamel shape. So I really like to use that. But again, mine is gone, so it looks like I need to get some more of that. But the Wink of Stella looks nice too. So now let's go ahead and put our cards out, and we will decide what they need yet, because they're not quite done. They could be, but you know, something you should always have in your little stamping toolbox or paper crafting toolbox, even if you're just scrapbooking, is you should have some embellishments. Everybody needs to have a little embellishment in their life. And I like embellishments in the form of rhinestones, and I have got some gilded gems as well. So I'm going to put these all out, and then we're going to like top them off, finish them off. See how many cards I'm going to have here today. Last week I had 9. I don't know if I'm going to fit all 9 cards in here today. We might have to go with 8 today. It's looking like my camera angle today is going to allow for 8. So I should probably go with 2 of these and 2 of these so that you can see all the different sentiments that I used today. The Happy Thoughts, Woven Heirlooms, and looks like Heal Your Heart is how the order that I have these in here. So just a great lineup. Okay, so this is what we're saying. Now you kind of take a look at what your card needs at this point. You can just, you know, kind of sit back and think, what colors would coordinate with this? I'm thinking silvers on this one, and I'm thinking the golds on this one. Of course, I have that gold specked ribbon, so gold is what this card needs. But the silver is what this card needs. It's just a little bit softer, and so then I go with silver. So let's go ahead and bring out our basic rhinestones, because that is what is speaking to me on this card here. I'm going to just start placing them on. I like to go in odd numbers. Let's go 3 there. Looks great. And let's go ahead and do the same over here. And just go with random sizes, whatever you would like to use. And now this card over here, I think it looks just fine how it is, but maybe I want to practice and just see what I could do. Let's go ahead and maybe put a couple down here. And then if I like it, I can do it on the other one. If maybe it's not my favorite, I won't do it on the other one. And what I'll probably do is I'm going to, what I like to do actually, if I'm not quite sure about a concept like this, I'll just leave it for a little bit and then I'll decide later if I want to add anything to that. So for now, those cards are complete. Okay, let's bring in our gold gilded gems. We are all through with our rhinestones. Get them put away. And let's bring in the gold gilded gems. See, I must have been thinking. So I've used the gold gilded with this floral art paper before because I have a scrap of it right here from another project. All right, so I have a full package, but I have some random ones on a sheet here that I'm going to use up today. And I'm going to do that same concept here on a couple of the cards. I'm going to do them all a little bit different. Let me see. You know what? I am going to open this. I want some of the smallest ones on there. I must have really liked the smaller ones. I used up all the larger ones. These have a nice shine to them. And I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool. I need a little more putty on there, so I'm just going to turn it. And look at how beautiful that is. Again, I'm going to do, I think I'll probably do 5 on this one. So just kind of like a little triangle up there. And then let's add a couple more down on the bottom here. I should use up these ones too. Okay, and then I think I'll do the same little concept of the line down here on this one. I'll start with the largest towards the bottom, and then I'll go to the medium. And then I'll grab one of the smallest ones. That looks really pretty. And then I'm going to just do miscellaneous over here. So I hope you liked my simple stamping cards today. I will be back tomorrow. I will post in the morning around what time I'll be live. Since it's not my normal day, it will be a little bit different. I know it won't be at 11. I have an appointment at 9 in the morning, and so it'll probably be in the afternoon sometime tomorrow. Probably early afternoon. And then Friday will actually have to be in the morning because I will be leaving in the afternoon. So there'll just be some quick lives to, well, I hope quick. I don't know if they'll be quick. Today was a little bit longer than, not than usual, probably pretty typical, but I'm going to be focusing on telling you all about Celebration and winding it down because like I said, I have not given it as much attention as I should have during this celebration this year. And usually, you know, I'm used to, this is the first celebration that I haven't been able to see everybody in person like usual. And so I'm just not quite in the groove with it. So I want to take a couple of days to really focus on it and just bring you some ideas. I'll share with you some cards that I've made and that I've received from friends. I'm trying to get these in a nice even line. All right, so as we finish up here, I'm going to take a look at the comments, see if there's any questions or anything, but I don't think I saw any come through too much. And, oh, there's my volume again. I keep turning it up. All right, so looks like we had quite a few of you watching. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed today's cards. And make sure you give me a like, a share, a comment, and you'll be entered for Prize Patrol for next week. Check back in a few minutes if you're watching live for the links if you'd like to order that free class. So I saw a few of you tuned in late, and that's just fine. Oh goodness, my volume is on here. Okay, so if you like any of these things and you place an order, not only are you going to get the Celebration, you're going to get card setups for these 8 cards. So 2 of each. So I will send you the supplies to create these cards. I used the Happiness Bloom stamp set only, so you'll have success really with anything that you use. As long as you have a sentiment stamp, you'll be able to create these, but Happiness Blooms is what I use if you want to make them exact. Anyway, so you can order this class as a purchase. I'll share that link, or if you place a $50 order, automatically send it to you. No need to even register. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll see you back here sometime tomorrow afternoon. And anyways, until then, have a happy stamping day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.